Hi, I'm Drew.
And I'm Sam.
And welcome to Drewling Samantics.
Hello!
Hey, hello!
We're here!
For real! For real!
We're back! It's season 4. How are you, Mr. Drew?
I am wonderful, wonderful, mate. It's so good to see you, buddy. And as you say, season 4. Who'd have thought it?
Where has time gone? It's 2022. We're in season 4. Brand new stuff's happening. And it feels like we haven't seen each other for absolutely ages.
Sam, we haven't seen each other for absolutely ages. Been off in the wilds of East Grinstead and Potter's Bar.
Yeah.
I mean, but we're back, raring to go.
We managed to do the odd sort of Zoom here and there, but I tell you what, it's been a long time since we've actually seen each other, isn't it?
It has. It's. You know what, Sam? It all feels a little bit odd somehow to me. I don't know what it is. Just it feels odd somehow.
What, doing this?
Yeah. Just I think I don't know about you, but I think we need to do the whole intro again in a whole different way, mate. I think we can take it again.
You want to start that again? Do the hello and stuff again, right?
Yeah, if we could.
I mean, if you're sure, mate.
Yeah, I tell you what. Why not I'll just give it a 3, 2, 1, and we'll go for it again. Just
okay. All right. So sorry for everyone listening. I know this is a bit boring, but go on then. Should we give it another go?
Yeah, I'll just give it a count. I'll just give us a 3, 2, 1, and we'll be okay.
All right.
You ready? Okay. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Hello! We're here! Like, in person. We're real. I mean, touch me. Drew! There we are! Yeah, for anyone not watching on YouTube, we're in my living room. And it's the first time we've ever done Drewling Samantics from the same room when we weren't on location,
when we have been working, yeah.
We've been out and about and done, obviously, the odd bit where we've been doing a show or we've been backstage at something where we've been together. But this is the first time that we've done Drewling Samantics, the normal podcast show, YouTube show, whatever you want to call it, but in person, in the same room.
In the same room.
Yeah.
And
actually, this is, and I might be wrong, is this the first time we've seen each other since mid-November?
Yes, it is. Mid-November 2021.
Oh, God. We're in 2022 now, or as some people say, 2022. Oh. But yes, so we are back. This is the first time we've been together in person since we did were we in Bristol? We did.
We were in Bristol doing a dinner show, interactive show, yeah.
And actually, this reminded me. So, last time we saw it must have been the 19th or 20th of November. It was a few days before your birthday.
It was, yes, it was.
And I remember leaving the house thinking, right, it's Drew's birthday. Got to remember to bring Drew's birthday present. Did I remember?
No, you didn't, mate.
Did I fuck?
Yeah.
And there we go. There's the first.
There we are. First F-bomb.
There we go. Yes. However, now we're at mine. Your present is here.
I knew there was a reason why I agreed. I knew there was a reason.
Yes.
I'll come on, Sam. Yeah.
So happy birthday to you for November last year, Drew.
Give me.
Here it is.
Give me.
And it's so beautifully wrapped in a cardboard box.
Oh, amazing! Look at that. It says Drew.
I've written Drew on top of the box.
So I know.
So
just because
I'm
getting old and I don't know my name. Yeah.
But, yes.
I honestly do not know what this is. This is really exciting. This is really.
Well, I thought I'd surprise you.
Very kind.
Not only are we surprising our viewers, those watching on YouTube. You're going to have to describe this for those not.
For those that can't watch it, it is a plain brown box. Inside this lovely brown box is my very own Drewling Samantics mug. Look at that. With 2 mugs on it as well. Mug shots on a mug.
Two mugs on a mug. Well, technically 4 because we're on both sides.
We're on both sides. There
you go. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much, mate. I shall.
It's belated, but we'll use it in a minute. We can have a cup of tea. I mean, we say we can have a cup of tea.
No, we can't.
This is Drewling Samantics.
No, there's no tea here.
But don't worry, we've not forgotten. So, in true Drewling Samantics style, Here is a nice,
There we are,
fresh,
look at that.
fine, cold. Cheers, dude.
Actually,
Fantastic.
clean
to see you.
glasses. There we
And
go.
Happy New Year,
Happy New Year.
everybody.
There we go.
I mean, we've had a couple of episodes out this year technically because we had the best ofs.
Best
But
ofs.
this is the first time we've properly addressed everyone and said hello, welcome back to Drewling Samantics 2022, and welcome to Season 4, which
Season 4.
exciting stuff. Cheers, Drew.
Yeah, a lot coming up. Cheers, buddy.
So yes, so speaking of what's coming up, what have you got coming up for 2022?
I'm very lucky, actually. Very lucky, Sam. I've got. You may remember, I did a VR shoot, a virtual reality shoot, all about a mission to Mars.
Yes.
Stricken spacecraft about to land on Mars, and it was really interesting because we shot this thing in one long take because it's a VR shoot.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
And we all loved it. We all really enjoyed rehearsing this and filming it, and thought nothing of it. And then we went, do you know there's 2 more episodes to do? So we've got Mission to Mars episode 2, which we are filming in a couple of weeks' time.
Wow.
So the guys are going, and they threw the idea out to be filmed last November, but they want the same 5 guys, five people back, which is lovely.
Yeah.
But we meet another crew.
Oh,
So
exciting.
another spacecraft is landing on Mars, and that was the initial storyline, was that we had to help this craft land. Now it is landing, and we meet the team on board.
Incredible.
So it gets it. Yes. So there will be 2 very long, complicated VRs to be done
Yes.
in a strange green room. But that I'm really looking forward to because it is fun.
Yeah.
And there are lovely people, lovely cast and people to work with. So we've got 4 days rehearsal and then 2 days shooting coming up over the next couple of weeks. And that's after that, a few immersive dinner shows, but we'll see what happens. Cause
It's very open for the rest of the year, I suppose,
is.
isn't it? I mean, I'm lucky. I've got quite a few things. So, as people will know, if they watched or listened to the episode where we had the wonderful Callan Durrant on, our guest, I'm on tour with him and his theatre company in February, March time. So looking forward to that. I've got possible couple of photo shoots and various other little bits that sort of queued up. Also hoping to link in with guests again. Here we go. I'm hoping to go and visit Mr. Joel Hicks, who we also had on the show last season. He runs a very successful photo studio, and we're trying to do a big male model event to try and give a bit more, forgive the phrase because it's not quite what I mean, but exposure to male models and sort of up the awareness of male side of the modelling world. So hoping to do that later in the year, and just as you said, sort of whatever comes, and looking forward to other bits and bobs, shall we say, as well as first segue of season 4, as well as looking forward to meeting lots of people and speaking to lots of people on Drewling Samantics.
Yeah.
So we do have some fantastic guests queued up, and we're not going to tell you who because that would spoil it.
Well, no, I mean, I'm surprised. You may be surprised though, but we had a planning meeting.
Yeah.
We had a planning meeting. We don't just throw this thing together, do we?
Well,
Go with it. Just go with it.
okay,
We don't just throw this thing together.
No, we don't. Not at all.
But we've got, hopefully, fingers crossed, some fabulous guests.
Yes.
I mean, we say that almost every time because we do get some fabulous guests. But
We've been incredibly lucky. What have we had now? I want to say 15. What? 15 weeks of guest
15 weeks
shows.
of guests, yeah.
I mean, technically 17 guests total that have actually been on. I think.
Yeah.
If
We've
that's
got some doubles.
yeah. But we've got another 6 weeks or 6 shows this season with guest stars, incredible stars of screen and stage and behind the scenes, and just some really cool stuff that we haven't kind of addressed before or haven't really looked at. So there's some really nice things coming up, and hopefully along with that, as I was saying, I'm hoping to go and visit Joel and do some modelling with him and hopefully show some sort of behind the scenes there. We've got a few of those planned as well.
Oh, we've got some trips out. Oh,
yes,
definitely.
We're going to get out and about and do a bit more sort of on the scenes reporting, shall we say?
I'm hoping I shall bring you pictures of a very large green room during the virtual reality.
Yes, so that one, even if you're on YouTube, probably isn't worth worrying about because it's just going to be
a green room.
I don't know what is it with you and colour. So we had your very orange session last year.
Yeah, that was
everything
pumpkins.
was pumpkin themed.
Yeah, it was orange. Now it's green.
And now it's about green. But we're gonna do our best to sort of go out and about and bring some more really. I was going to say innovative. It's not the word I mean at all. Some really in-depth kind of stuff that probably you've never been able to immerse yourselves in before or never been able to sort of experience. So we will try and get out and about and do some of that and really kind of... I think we're trying to expand this season, aren't we?
I think we're trying to expand, I mean, because we all know the problems that we've had and how we've solved those. We've solved it. Other people have solved it. But I think now we've got the opportunity now to we get out and about. And I've done a few. I've caught up with a few people that I haven't seen or I haven't heard of or heard from. Because
Haven't heard of?
I've
never heard of you, but now I'm going to catch up with you.
No, but people have tucked themselves away, and now we're all emerging. From our respective and for Christmas and the New Year as well. We're coming out of that. So I've caught up with a few people and said, you fancy being on the podcast? So, and a few of those are from worlds, as you said, that we haven't really delved into. And some that I know something about and others that I don't know anything about, which is particularly interesting.
There's going to be some real entertaining conversations had, I think. And we're lucky enough that there are people, fingers crossed, who will be joining us that will give us some real insight into areas of the industry that we've definitely not got any experience of.
Not delved into.
And I think it's interesting you were saying about how people sort of not coming out, but people now emerging from their cocoons of Christmas and whatever they've been doing. I think very much that's the blame can be laid at our doors, being that we've been away doing Panto. We've been so busy, and I have to say, obviously we've spoken since, but now with a full audience, Panto, how was it, mate?
It was great. It was exhausting because I was the double hat of directing and playing Dame. But it's always brilliant. It's always so rewarding, and particularly, and I know you'll echo this, particularly with the challenges this year of the Unwelcome Guest wearing a new hat that suddenly caught everybody off guard, and so many companies were affected and had to close or had to get understudies on or people they go, can you just come and help us out? And we thankfully we weren't affected. We lost an assistant stage manager for the last couple of days of the run, but it did mean that we had to follow very strict procedures, as you did as well. I mean, I think you lost one.
So I'm not sure if you were the same, but we were testing daily.
At night and in the morning.
We were lucky enough that we didn't drop a show. We did every single show. So we did 38 performances, I think.
Wow.
You were 20.
We were 30. Yeah.
30. So we managed all 38. We did have a small, very short period where one of our leads wasn't sure if they would test positive, so they had a test and had to wait a few days for that to come back before they came back to us. But fortunately, luckily it was timed when we had a day off and an incredible performer. And Sarah, if you're listening or watching, hi, thanks for helping us out. She stepped in and with 1 day's rehearsal to learn an entire pantomime, she came in and performed. I think she performed 6 shows. So she saved the day, but because of that, we were able to carry on and we didn't drop a show. And then fortunately, our lead Jasmine, she came back. She was all right. She wasn't positive in the end, so that's why she came back in, and we managed to finish the run. It was fantastic. And I have to say, I think one of the main things that came out of it for me is how supportive the audiences were.
Yes, a lot of people have said that had something happen, that the audiences really stuck by them.
And even, I mean, they wouldn't have known, other than the fact that on the programme or the cast sheet we had, the name was different, and we had an announcement at the beginning just saying, today this member is being played by blah blah blah. But we, from the word go, we had great numbers in the audiences, everyone wearing masks where they could or had to, and people obeying social distancing rules and just doing everything, because I think as much as we're desperate for theatre to come back through, we've managed to go. We started this podcast just under a year ago, and it started because we were in lockdown.
Yeah.
And the horrendous C word, coronavirus, the Unwelcome Guest, was very much having an impact, and we needed something to do to keep ourselves sane, to keep ourselves entertained, to keep that connection, our close friendship going. And we've gone full circle almost, because we had the first season that was very much in lockdown. We had the second season where things were sort of starting to look up. We had the third season where we're going, right, no, that's it.
Done.
We've got out of it. We're going up and through. And now we're back with season 4, and it's gone back the other way again. And as you say, it's got a new hat on. Oh my cron. Sorry. But we've sort of gone like a loop, and it's starting to affect things again. I mean, we've seen recently that certain West End productions have cut their runs down, or the amount of performances per week. There are other things being postponed again. So to have audiences come in and be so supportive and so incredibly good with regards to rules and regulations and keeping everyone safe, it was so refreshing. And it's mainly thanks to them and us obeying rules and keeping on top of things and making sure we were safe that we were able to complete a full run.
I was heartened. I mean, how quickly people went, we'll wear a mask, and we'll keep it on throughout the entire performance. We had backstage, all our crew were masked all the time during the shows.
Yeah, likewise.
And if you spent I didn't, and I'm sure you didn't spend much time in your dressing room, but if you spent any appreciable time in the dressing room, you put a mask on and then take it off to go to stage to perform. So you kept that. Sorry to interrupt. So we kept that performance bubble. So I was going from my home, testing in the morning. Yeah, I'm clear. Home, car, theatre, car, home. Another test. Go to bed, get up, same for...
absolutely. I mean, I was the same, but without home.
Because you were.
I was in a hotel. But we were on skeleton crew. We had stage manager on the book. So to explain, that's a stage manager who has a screen, can see everything that's going on, and they call all the sound effects, all the lighting cues, the microphones being switched on and off, everything. So they've got the whole script and every single thing that happens, from lights to sound to band to everything. So we had stage manager on the book. We had stage manager on the stage who coordinated every scene change and props and things like that. And we had assistant to the stage manager on the stage. Then we had sound, and that was it. We had four people running the entire... Then obviously we had... there were six lead cast, 4 senior dancers, 4 junior dancers, and 3 in the band. But when you think, I mean, we've done shows, you and I have both done shows where there's more people than that in total just in the band, or you've had 8, 9, 10 stage crew doing various different things. To achieve what we did with such a limited crew and cast and whatever else was incredible. And huge props to everyone. I'm going to say thank you to everyone at Checkermead at the theatre in East Grinstead who were brilliant. Everyone just was so committed and worked so hard, and I'm sure you'll echo the same.
I would echo say for Wiliot's Theatre in Potters Bar, the crew were amazing. Front of house were great as well, because they were the first line. If someone came in and didn't have a mask on, they were the first line of defence, going, pop your mask on and thank you very much. And they did it well enough that you would look out and go, actually, I can see, nearly everybody in that audience was masked. And Yeah, there were a couple of people going, well, do I have to? I think, yes, you do. Oh, okay, then. You know.
Yeah, but no massive reluctance no one kicking up the fuss or whatever.
Not at all.
And such enthusiastic audiences all the way through. I mean, we had socially distant shows where every other row had nobody in it to keep people set, and each group of people that was booked, then there were a couple of seats before the next group, so that was great, and we had a couple of those, and they were hugely popular, as you can understand, because people are still slightly concerned or worried about things, so that was great, because of that we were able to offer opportunities to those that perhaps weren't feeling quite so safe, or were slightly more vulnerable. They could still enjoy a Christmas tradition, British Panto. We had a relaxed performance, which is something that I feel is hugely
love
important.
doing those performances.
Yeah. So again, for not to be what's the word? Not to
patronise.
That's the one. Thank you. Not to be patronising, but for anyone that isn't familiar with a relaxed performance, we essentially get rid of any loud bangs or really loud noises, flashing lights. The auditorium never goes completely black, because it then allows for those that aren't comfortable or that have certain conditions where they can get nervous or whatever, it allows them to enjoy it in the same way, and they still get a full show. We got rid of pyros, fireworks and explosions and stuff like that, but other than that the show was exactly the same, and it was really popular. People really enjoyed it, and I think we live in a world now where inclusivity is so important. To be able to do something like that is invaluable. It's great. So it was. Panto in itself was just brilliant. To get to the end of the run was an achievement in itself. We do have an unwelcome guest of sorts back in attendance again, a little bit, and it's fighting against us. But managed to get by regardless, and that stiff upper lip, the British spirit fought back, and we're not going to let this thing stop us enjoying Panto. So,
well, I did a little surprise on Christmas Day.
Oh yes,
because there's a lovely hotel, the Landmark Hotel on Marylebone Road, Euston Road, and every Christmas, Rona, who some of you have met, some of you will know, she has helped organise a Santa Claus for the children visiting, the people in the hotel. And this year, we had a guy who was going to do it, and then COVID prevented him. I used the word.
Yeah, you used to see
pound the swear box. Yeah. The Unwelcome Guest made it impossible for him to do it.
Yes.
So we had another guy organised who then, through circumstances beyond his control, couldn't do it either. And so there I was on Christmas Day, my only day off from Panto, I hasten to add.
Woe is you.
Going in, we delivered the costume, and we were going to have see the guy, have a glass of something, and then go home. And no, I had to don the Santa Claus gear.
Santa's assistant.
So I was Santa Claus for 3 hours on Christmas Day that I wasn't expecting. But they did give us a wonderful lunch afterwards. It was quite good fun.
Was it busy?
It wasn't as busy as the hotel were expecting, because I think they had bookings, but given the circumstances, those were less. But it was busy. It was a lovely atmosphere. It was a beautiful atmosphere. But I had one very heartening moment. A lady, she came into the hotel, and I was standing in front of a very large Christmas tree, ho-ho-hoing and giving out teddy bears. And she said, "Oh, would you do me a favour? Would you come up to my hotel suite where my family, my two young boys are?" And she was a doctor at the local hospital, on call. And she'd been on call right the way through for about 72 hours and whatever, 5 or 6 days. And her husband, as a treat, said, "Well, if you're going to be on call, we'll stay in the hotel, we'll bring the boys, we'll have a family Christmas." Yeah. But it wasn't a family Christmas, as you understand it. I mean, she was on call and out on shift.
Yeah.
So I wandered upstairs, and there she was standing in her scrubs, knocking on the door, and her two boys went, "Mummy!" And then she stood with one side, and I went, "Oh, Santa's here!" And I was able to sort of,
amazing.
And it was lovely. It was they were 6 and 9. Strange name for children, but they were 6 years and 9 years. And I couldn't resist that. Panto is not quite over.
No,
but their little faces were, you think, okay, if I've done anything, I've done a little bit of good, But that was the kind of spirit that actually, the Christmas spirit, was very much in evidence right the way through, I think. I really
I completely agree. And I think we have rallied as a nation, and actually I think the whole planet has, and sort of tried to do everything it can and not let things knock our spirit, shall we say.
This is funny, isn't it? Because I agree. I think we have rallied, but I don't think the fear is there anymore. It's the coping now. It's like, okay, we know this thing. The Unwelcome Guest. We know it's nasty. We know it's, in this instance, spreading very quickly.
Yeah.
But let's take the fear factor out. Let's just get on with it now. Let's deal with it and get on with our lives and not make the best, but make everything possible. And I think that's what Pantos did. The odd Santa Claus, that sort of thing. I think the simple things like making that happen makes it more important than all the commercialisation of Christmas and that. The simple fact that people were able to go to see their families, that there was someone being Santa somewhere, be it a shop or a church hall or somewhere, a hospital. People were making things happen. I think it's very important, and and again, looking out to see people really enjoying, families out seeing Panto, which nothing like that happened last year, was very heartening, but it also gave me the sense of we can beat this thing.
Yes.
I think it can be dealt with, it can be beaten.
And I think that's going to be heavily part of the feeling for this season.
Yeah.
Drewling Samantics. I think.
Yeah.
Our faithful followers, watchers, subscribers have been with us from day dot and have seen us go through fighting against the Unwelcome Guest and how it's affected the industry. It is still doing so. There are still big negative elements of it that are overwhelming the industry, but we are still fighting back as we have been from the start.
Yeah.
And I think hopefully this season we'll be able to bring a feeling of we're carrying on. We're not taking risks. We're not doing things that are going to create issue. But we're also not going to let the industry die or let it. We have a voice, and we want that voice to be heard.
I think as well, as you say, that there's keeping the normality going and the strength of the core. But I also think that we've learned things from this. The industry has learned from this. We've learned how vulnerable we can be.
Yeah.
Certainly when it comes to, a huge round of applause to and kudos to anybody that was understudying or going on for people this year. I know that the production company I work for, Jordan Productions, they had 8 Pantos on, and people were they were ill, and to keep things going, they had a subs bench of there was a villain, there was a dame or a couple of dames, a couple of comics, a couple of princes, princesses, or whatever, and bless their hearts, they were zooming off all over the country, with a morning or a day's rehearsal, or some cases no rehearsal whatsoever.
Exactly.
So anybody, I've understudied in the past, but anybody this Christmas that was put into that position, my hat, and well done and thank you and whatever we want to say, but I don't think my heart could take it these days. It was suggested by Jordan Production that I go on their subs bench, and at one point it was like, really? Oh no.
Yes, because you had the luxury of finishing Panto last year.
Yes,
whereas some of us carried into this year.
Yeah, all right, okay. It was Christmas Eve, New Year's Eve I finished on it.
I had a whole 2 days after that.
Yeah. Worked right into the new year, didn't you?
Right. Well, in my defence, and it's through no one's choice.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're going to say.
So I went straight from Panto to the musical. So the truth stops here. The unbelievable musical that I was part of the workshop back in summer and had the joy, the honour of being part of the first fully staged musical version of the show, which went out last weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It was just amazing, and I understudied one of the leads on that, and fortunately, maybe not fortunately, however you want to look at it, but I didn't have to go on in that role. I got to stick to the roles I'd been cast in, because again, by some miracle, we managed to keep a full healthy cast. We lost a couple of people for a couple of rehearsals because they had to isolate or whatever else, but fortunately when it came to performance week, everyone was fully fit, ready and raring to go, and we've really good reviews, great response from the audience, and hopefully this is just the beginning of it. So we shall see. But yeah, keep your eyes out. The truth stops here. Hopefully.
Doesn't stop here.
Well, no, it
doesn't stop here.
The truth stops here. Doesn't stop here. Yeah. But,
I know what I mean.
Yeah.
Let's go with it.
Yeah, as long as you do, it doesn't matter. But no, I think we've got, with that and many, many other things, huge things to look forward to and to discuss in this coming season. Lots of fun things to look back on and think fondly of and chat about. Some amazing guests to come and join us. But most of all, we have got an amazing fan base and some wonderful listeners, watchers out there who we are just going to endeavour to bring the best content we can.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
and we'll do this again. We will get together more often.
Yes. Yeah. As
whether you like it or not, Sam, we're going to get together more often.
God, yeah, okay, maybe. No, we will. Basically, we will do whatever we can to just bring some amazing Drewling Samantics episodes to you week in, week out for season 4 and on. So, but Drew, I shall raise a glass to you, sir.
There we go.
Cheers.
And
to everyone, cheers.
Out there. Cheers.
Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week with our first guest of season 4. First guest of 2022. If you don't count the 6 or 7 that we had in the best of. They weren't there. They were in the past.
They were in the past.
But yes, thank you everyone so much for joining. Cheers, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.
Lovely to be back. Take care.
Thanks again for tuning in. We hope you've enjoyed watching this episode of Drewling Samantics.
If you have, then please consider subscribing to our channel and you'll get notified every time a new video is released. Don't forget, we're also available as audio only. Just search Drewling Samantics in any good podcast app.
Please support us on other social media too. We're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and all our links and handles are on screen now.
We love welcoming new followers and subscribers, so please share with your family and friends and we'll be eternally grateful. Stay safe and we'll see you next time.